Alright, we are going to start soon. I'm going live right now. Where is my game? Oh, I have a new game actually. I might play it afterwards. We'll see, But yeah, we're gonna play a bit of Syntherapy, Syntherapy again. I'm trying to do a few other things with this game, so we'll see. And then later on, I might play some other game afterwards. We'll see. But let me load it up now. So I played this game yesterday. I'm not sure if you already know about this game. If you watched my previous video, I played 4 hours yesterday, and so far I have only 4 hours logged for this game, and I'm going to play another couple hours today. But I'm also doing a few other things, so I might mute myself. Here we go. So I might mute my recording afterwards if I have a little meeting to do afterwards. So let me turn on music actually. Oh, so loud. Okay, let's find some of these first. It's really loud. Much better. One more. Yes. Okay. How do you exit this? Oh, you can do that. Okay, options. Voice over menu. I'll make it 40. Sound effects 10. Music volume 10. Or maybe no music at all. I'm not sure. We'll see. Windowed mode. Okay, return to menu. So I have only 3 achievements so far. This. Interesting. So there's all these other locked achievements I'm trying to get to. And flowchart. Coffee, meeting Tara. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have so far. So I'm going to try different things, and I think later on, look at this. This is all the different options you can have for this game. Let's start. And I am going to load this one. And how do I choose the chapters again? There should be a way to choose chapters. Review your email. How do you get out of this? Review patient. Why is it pink today? That's odd. How do I go back? There should be a way to go back to the previous menu. Yes. Options? No. Achievements? No. Therapist mode? Locked. Chapter select. Yes, this is the one I was looking for. So let me just achievements, options, no, not that. Start this. No, how do I delete? Oh, I delete this. Okay, so I delete it, and then I'll choose a new game. No. I choose a chapter. Hey, what's going on? Alright, thanks for that. Where's my chat? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at my chat right now. Let me put up my chat. So I am going to go back to the opening. I'm going to try it again. Where's my chat? Hang on, let me
Most people spend their lives looking for answers to the wrong questions. They want to know how to be famous, but never ask if fame will fulfill them. They want to know how to make their family proud, but never ask if their family's happiness is worth more than their own. They want to know how to make others love them without knowing how to love themselves first. I can't give people answers, but I try to help them ask the right questions.
Better know.
In the late 2020s, widespread automation triggered an economic collapse. In the years that followed, hundreds of desperate people in need of counseling came to me with their hopes, worries, and seemingly endless questions. I tried to ease their troubled minds, even if I was struggling alongside them. Many of them were able to overcome their obstacles, but just as many proved to be too overburdened for me to relieve them of their pain. The only apology I could offer was a promise to keep my office open to all who needed sanctuary. 20 years later, I've learned how to help my patients answer the right questions. But now I have questions of my own. Questions I'm afraid to ask, and even more afraid to have answered. I try not to think about them, but I know I can't hide for long. We bury the past, thinking, hoping that it's dead. But it's not. Like a seed, the past spreads its roots and grows up through the ground. It starts small, but grows into something harder to overlook. A lone tree that springs up in an open field can't be ignored for long. I can't help but wonder if I can trust the fruit that will grow from such a tree. Will it taste bitter? Sweet? I don't know, and not knowing scares me. I know that the only way forward is for me to eat the fruit of my past. But I'm afraid of the answers that fruit will hold.
All right.
Dr. Park?
Yes, Heather.
I just forwarded you an email from someone named Tara Northrop. They're trying to get an appointment with you this afternoon. I figured it'd be alright since you're open.
Thanks, Heather. I'll give it a read.
You really listen to this old stuff?
Lo-fi? Absolutely. It's one of the only things that got me through final exams back in college.
My mom used to listen to this all the time when we cleaned the house on Sundays. It drove me crazy.
Your mom has good taste. I'd probably like her.
You probably would. She's the only person I know who asks more questions than you.
A mom asking questions about her daughter? How awful. It's almost as if she cares about you.
Yeah, I know. It just hasn't been easy since I moved back in with her. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you let me intern with you, but sometimes it gets overwhelming.
It isn't easy, but it will be worth it. Trust me.
I appreciate hearing that. Can I get you anything to drink while I'm up?
Green tea with honey.
Coming right up.
I'll update my software in the meantime.
Welcome to Stanley Suite version 3.23.48H2.
Here you go. Glad my degree's good for something.
I confirmed Tara for an appointment. Expect her at 2:30.
I'll put it on the schedule. Anything else I can do?
Not right now.
Alright. I'll let you get back to work.
Child cases are especially important. I wanted to make sure I saw you right away.
I'm glad to hear you're taking this seriously.
Now, what can you tell me about your child?
This is an uncomfortable situation for me. I'm not quite sure where to start.
The best way would be to start with the facts and work from there.
Well, there is one fact that you need to know. The person I want to recommend to you isn't my child. I'm part of a university research team that's been developing an AI. We recently observed some unusual behavior, and we need someone with your background to analyze it.
Why would you lie in your email?
I couldn't tell you the truth over email. I had to make sure it was in person. As I said, I'm a part of a research team developing an artificial intelligence. The AI was very social, then we started having difficulties. The rest of my team are convinced it's I know this is going to sound absurd.
Can you prove that? The field of artificial intelligence has gotten advanced in the last few years, but anything resembling true sentience is far beyond our grasp. Most people have given up on the idea of sentient art.
You have to come with me to the university and talk to them.
I don't think I can help you.
Why?
Treating the AI as a person in a therapeutic setting could violate several ethical standards.
Violate ethical standards? How?
Notice that there's a problem with the title of this. This is not 100 Doors game we played last night. Let me check and fix it if I can on YouTube. Just give me a second. I'll do this in the background. Just keep watching.
As a therapist, part of maintaining integrity with my patients means striving for accuracy with my assistants. I'm not an expert with AI or the technology you're using. I'm not sure if I could provide the accuracy you need.
Is your integrity more valuable than helping people?
Like I said, I'm unsure.
So you might be able to help.
That could be possible in this situation. Regardless, there are other complicating factors.
Like what?
If I were to treat my sessions with the AI as real therapy, I'd be concerned about their free will. My patients need the free will to make their own choices. Otherwise, therapy won't help. Even if I were to assume that this AI has free will, how would I know it would be respected?
If I could guarantee that the AI could make its own decisions, would that be all right?
If you can guarantee that the AI's free will would be respected, then yes, it'd be all right.
So you can help me now?
That could be possible in this situation. Regardless, there are other complicating factors.
Like what?
Administering therapy to an AI has never been done before. This would be research as much as therapy. I don't know if I could do that given how demanding my current therapy practice is.
I could handle the research responsibilities. Would that make it all right?
If you'd feel comfortable taking on that responsibility, then I suppose it'd be alright.
Of course, I'd be comfortable. Will you help me now?
I'm sorry, but this case seems too risky. I'll have to decline.
Look, there's one last thing I need to tell you. I reached out to you for a reason. This project, the AI, it's all being researched at Petrichor University. You went there years ago.
Yes, decades ago. How do you know that?
As part of the developmental process, we had the AI read through issues of the school's literary magazine. They found some entries you published as a student, and they want to talk to you about them.
Why would an AI be interested in my poetry?
I don't know. They won't tell me. But I get the feeling they'll talk to you. If we can get them to open up, maybe we can figure out what's going on. So will you help me or not?
I'll help you.
Really? After everything you said before?
Yes.
But
Change my
why?
description.
I have my reasons. When would you want me to speak to the AI?
Ideally, tonight. Night is the only time I have access to the AI.
Fine. I'll meet you at the university tonight.
Ideally, tonight. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you tonight.
Fine. I'll meet you at the university tonight. Myself into?
Ideally, tonight. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you
Myself into?
ideally tonight. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you
Myself into?
ideally tonight. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you
Myself into?
ideally tonight. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you
Myself into?
ideally tonight. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you
Myself into?
ideally tonight. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you
Myself into?
ideally tonight. I'll send you an email
Hey,
with more information.
hope you didn't have trouble getting here.
I'll see you
Took forever to find parking.
ideally.
Glad to see that hasn't changed.
I'll send you an email.
Hey, I gotta
You
say,
didn't have trouble getting
part
here.
of me was worried
I'll
you
see
wouldn't show up.
Took forever to find parking.
Ideally.
Glad to see that hasn't changed.
I'll send you an email.
Hey, I gotta
You
say,
didn't have trouble getting
part
here.
of me was worried
I'll
you
see
wouldn't show up.
Took forever to find parking.
Ideally.
Glad to see that hasn't changed.
I'll send you an email.
Hey, I gotta
You
say,
didn't have trouble getting
part
here.
of me was worried
I'll
you
see
wouldn't show up.
Took forever to find parking. The thought crossed my mind a few times.
Oh, well, I'm glad you decided to come anyway.
Anything else I should know? There was a lot to go over in your email.
Of course. The AI was designed as an art therapy assistant unit. They'd watch patients make art and then help form a diagnosis.
Bit ironic that the therapy AI may need therapy itself.
Yeah, real hilarious. The lab's this way. Let's get moving. All right, we're here. Will you want to be alone with them when you do your session?
For now, yes.
One last thing. Their name is Willow. Their name is Willow.
Bit of an odd name for an AI.
Oh, I mean, I
Their
like it.
name is
but-
Willow.
Anyways, I'll let you work.
Bit of an odd name for an AI.
Oh, I mean...
Hello?
I like
My
it.
name is
It's
Dr. Melissa Park.
Anyways, I'll let you
Tara
work.
wanted me to speak with you. May I come in?
Yes, you may.
How are you doing this evening?
I was resting when you came in. I haven't been feeling well lately.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me what's been troubling you?
I'd rather not talk about it right now.
Tara explained to me what you were designed for.
She did?
It's very interesting. Art therapy assistant robots like you will be very useful.
I'm many things. Useful isn't one of them.
That's not true. You aren't useless.
I just don't want to talk about it.
What would you like to talk about?
I want to know why you came here.
I came down here to help Tara. When she visited me earlier today, she was very distressed. If talking to you will ease her mind, I'll happily do it.
Well, I'm glad you wanted to help Tara, but I don't think you can help me.
What's it like here at the university?
I wouldn't know. I've never left this room.
I was a student here years ago. It's interesting to see what has and hasn't changed.
What changed for you?
There are some new buildings and parking garages. Some old lamps and benches have been replaced. An old tree that I used to sit under got cut down, which is a shame. Despite all the changes, a single walk brought all the old memories back. I felt like my younger self again.
Do you miss being a student here?
I do. There was an energy I possessed all those years ago that I miss now. I used to feel like I had the power to change the world, but now I know how hard any type of change can be. I've settled for new dreams. Dreams that aren't as wonderful, but are more likely to become real. I wish I could go back to before I had to give up on so much.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Why is that?
I'd rather not say why.
That's alright. Let's move on to something else. What can you tell me about your relationship with Tara?
Tara was a significant part of my development. I barely know the other members of the team that created me.
There were other members on the development team?
Yes, but I don't know them very well. They didn't talk to me or spend as much time with me as Tara did. From my understanding, they were the ones who programmed the modules that make up my consciousness. I don't know any of the other team members well enough that I can say anything about what they were like.
Tell me about your early memories with Tara.
My earliest memories with Tara all involve music, pictures, and questions. Tara would play music and ask me to describe it, or show me a picture and ask me what I thought about it. She made me feel like I mattered. Even if I gave an answer that perplexed Tara, she would let me explain myself. I never once felt like I was broken.
From the beginning, this is actually, I think, 5 minutes into the game. So yeah, I'm live streaming right now. You can go back and watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it here on Twitch, whichever you want. Basically, I think we're 5 minutes into the game. I'm just introduced to the AI, which is that little mask with the hands behind its face.
What impact would you say that Terra has had on you?
Tara taught me everything I know. She was always patient and ready to answer questions.
I have an open-ended question for you. What do you think the purpose of psychology is?
Psychology is the field of study related to understanding the processes of the mind. Its purpose is to better understand how the mind functions on both cognitive and physiological levels. These understandings can then be applied to other fields of knowledge.
What do you think is the most important application of psychology?
I don't know. I'd need an example to better understand what you mean.
Some psychological work has a philosophical focus. It's less focused on practical applications and more on discovering fundamental truths about how the mind works.
That sounds like a good application. You need to understand the nature of something before you can fix its problems.
Well said. Would you mind if I asked you a more philosophical question?
Go ahead.
What do you think is the purpose of art?
From the information I have, I think the purpose of art is communication. Before the development of written language, art was how humanity preserved information. Thousands of years later, we still use art to convey ideas too complex for language to articulate. From beginning to end, art has always been about communication.
What about the other qualities related to art?
What do you mean?
In some cases, art has a more ceremonial purpose. You see this in decorations adorning places of worship or decorations for celebrations.
I'd argue that type of artwork is still communication. It exists to communicate shared values and history.
So ceremonial artwork simply has more layers of communication?
Correct. Can I ask you a question, Dr. Park?
Of course you can.
Have you ever felt overloaded?
Many times. Finals, holiday season, tax time. There are plenty of times where there's too much going on for me to handle.
When you get overloaded, what does it feel like?
That sounds like a question I should be asking you.
Okay. I'll try to describe it. I feel like I have to do a lot of different tasks. I can't start any of them. All the tasks build up like steam.
There are techniques for working past these feelings that I could show you.
Those sound helpful. Thank you.
I'm beginning to understand your problem, Willow. You are very articulate and emotionally literate. Your understanding of concepts such as the self and how you relate to others is also very mature. From my conversations with you and Tara, it sounds like you have apprehensions about your work, and they're leaving you feeling overwhelmed. Trying to deal with these feelings has made you adopt unhealthy coping methods.
What do you mean by unhealthy coping methods?
Tara sent me reports of your recent activity. She noted that you're more error-prone during periods of high activity. All machines struggle with increased workloads, but I don't think that alone explains your behavior. When people come under stress, they don't just struggle. They find outlets, and some of them are destructive. I think that in order to manage your overloading, you've adopted one of those unhealthy coping mechanisms. Some patients who are overloaded engage in self-harming behavior in order to release their tension. Have you been self-harming in order to handle your overloading?
Well, I mean,
There's no shame in admitting it, Willow. It's okay.
okay. Yes, I've been self-harming.
Because of how overwhelmed you felt after the mock therapy sessions?
Correct.
What about those art therapy sessions made you feel so overwhelmed?
When I watched the patients work, I felt the anxiety in their voices and saw their fear in each tremor of their hands. I extrapolated their behavior into a diagnosis like I was designed to do, but when it came time for me to start making treatment plans, I couldn't do it. The longer I thought about it, the more useless I felt.
You can still help others even if you have personal problems. Your patients will appreciate any help you can give them.
If the patients knew I was struggling, they wouldn't trust me. I'd disappoint Tara. I'd disappoint everyone.
You haven't disappointed anyone, least of all Tara. There's still a way to make things right. You just need to work with me. Will you do that?
I'll try.
Hang on, I'll be right back. Hello?
Dr. Park, we're with campus security. We've been instructed to take you to the president's office.
Why? What's going on?
You're currently trespassing on school property.
What? That's absurd. I was here with...
Tara Northrop, a student who was also trespassing.
Please come with us. We don't want to make this difficult.
Fine.
Dr. Freeman, we have Dr. Park here to see you.
Thank you both. I'll take it from here. I hope security didn't alarm you. My name is Dr. Harold Freeman. I'm pleased to meet you.
You're pleased to meet a campus trespasser?
I'd prefer to see it as meeting a fellow alumni.
You attended college here too.
Oh, yes. I was part of the graduating class of 2018.
Correction, you were in the graduating class of 2019.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Myrtle. Dates get hazier over time. This university has given a great deal to me over the years, and I'm proud to be able to serve as its president. I'd love to just chat about Petrichor, but we have more pressing matters to discuss.
Who's Myrtle?
Myrtle's the name of my personal assistant smart speaker. I named it after my previous secretary. Incredible woman, Myrtle. She was one of the first hires when I became president of this university. Sadly, she passed away a few years ago. No one could ever replace her, but this little assistant does a fine enough job scheduling my meetings. Do you have one of these at your office, Dr. Park?
No, I don't. They're frowned upon in therapy settings due to privacy concerns.
I understand that, though I find the speaker's nosiness to be charming. In that way, at least, it isn't all that different from the real Myrtle.
What happened to Willow?
The AI? It's still in the lab, I assure you.
What will happen to them after I leave?
We'll get to that in due time, Dr. Park.
Where's Tara now?
She's been escorted off campus premises. I'm still deciding what we will need to do next regarding her.
Why did you have security bring me here?
Before I explain, I want to emphasize one point. You aren't in any trouble, and you did nothing wrong coming here. That said, Tara has gotten you involved in a complicated situation.
What kind of situation?
We'll get to that. Now that I've let you ask your questions, Dr. Park, I need to ask one of my own. What did Tara tell you about the AI?
She said that the AI, Willow, was being developed for use in art therapy. Shortly after introducing Willow to mock therapy sessions, they started experiencing technical issues. Not long after that, Tara reached out to me.
Did Tara tell you that her entire team was instructed by me to stop work on the AI after it first started malfunctioning?
No, she didn't. Why did you tell them to stop working?
I wanted to have an ethics committee investigate the project before work continued.
Why would you need an ethics committee investigation?
Having spoken to the AI, do you think it is truly sentient?
Yes, I do.
Then we're in agreement, and that's a problem.
What makes the AI sentience a problem?
If the AI is sentient, any further experimentation on it could be seen as experimenting on a person. A violation of that scale would be a massive scandal for this university. Tara is a good scientist, passionate, insightful, dedicated. As an educator, I want to reward all of those traits. I still want her to continue her original research, and will happily fund its development. However, I owe it to all my students at this university to maintain our reputation. The emergent personality in the AI is too volatile, and any research surrounding it is too much of an ethical hazard.
Dr. Hazel Rhodes, the head of our university's psychology department and part of our institutional review board, has similar concerns.
A few days ago, I brought Tara into this office and offered a potential solution. It would seem from her bringing you here that she rejected my offer.
What was your offer?
I would allow her team to back up the current build of the AI for an ethics committee to investigate. Work would continue on an older build that predated any signs of sentience.
I can see how that would work.
I'm glad you do, but you aren't the one who needs persuading. Tara bears a strong dislike of me because of my verdict on the AI. I want this university to be a place of open exchange, a place where reasonable debates, free thinking, and discussions are encouraged. Punishing Tara would go against that philosophy, but I'm running out of alternatives. With you here, I hope you can help me resolve this situation amicably.
I'm just here to evaluate the AI. Whatever's going on between you two is up to you to resolve.
I understand. It's late, and I want to go home. So I'm going to leave you with this. Having you conduct sessions with the AI while I work with Tara will improve our situation. I'm prepared to offer the standard rate for weekly sessions with the AI. I simply ask that the progress reports will be made to me.
With the AI's consent, of course.
Of course. As a gesture of good faith to Tara, I'm fine with you making these reports available to her as well. Does this sound agreeable?
When would the next session be?
How does 8 a.m. next Thursday sound?
I should be open.
Good. Myrtle, pencil in Dr. Park for next Thursday at 8.
Meeting scheduled.
I'm looking forward to working with you, Dr. Park. Have a safe drive home.
Here's the coffee you asked for.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Jeez, you look pretty beat. What happened last night?
Experimenting with a near-human intelligence.
Dr. Freeman, I presume.
You know him?
Friends of mine who went to Petrichor said he was a major type A. All I know is that this doesn't sound like a situation you should be getting involved in. Why did you agree to help them?
Tara needed my help. The university has put her in a real bind, and I don't think it was fair. This AI represents years of research. Tara has a right to decide what gets done with that research. Hopefully I can make the university see that.
Well, if you need help with this patient, just let me know.
You really want to be a part of this?
I'm here to learn therapy from you, Dr. Park. I can go other places if I wanted a career fetching coffee.
Fair enough. I'll definitely appreciate your help on this assignment.
So, if you can tell me, what exactly do you plan on doing for the next session?
I'll be building up rapport with the AI. Without the AI's trust, therapy becomes a lot harder. Maybe even impossible.
Sounds like a good place to start. Let me know if you need me to look over anything.
I will. Thanks, Heather.
Good morning, Dr. Park.
Good morning, Willow. It's good to see you again.
I've been looking forward to today ever since they told me you'd be returning.
I'm glad to hear that, Willow. It makes me feel better when people look forward to their sessions.
Why is that?
Therapy works best when the patient wants it. It's also more enjoyable.
I see. Makes sense. So, what shall we talk about today?
In the last session, you mentioned having self-harming tendencies associated with being overwhelmed. You also mentioned that Tara and the other development team members attempted to fix this issue through coding, and it didn't work.
Correct.
Treating your self-harm is not going to be an immediate solution. I believe your self-harm is a symptom of a larger problem. I will need you to be patient with me as we discuss this issue. Understood?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. I'll need you to tell me what leads to you feeling overwhelmed.
My feelings of being overwhelmed usually stem from being given tasks that I can't accomplish.
What type of tasks give you the most difficulty?
When I watched the practice sessions, I acutely perceived what the subjects were feeling. These patients had endured trauma. Many had been abused and betrayed by people they had once trusted. I felt pity for what they'd endured. I felt outrage over what had happened to them. I felt a burning need to let them know they weren't alone. But more than that, I felt an overwhelming sensation of powerlessness. How am I supposed to help people who have suffered so much?
The people we work with are often frightened and confused. They don't know what they're looking for. Sometimes it's compassion. Other times it's a cold splash of reality. Our job is to figure out what it is. Just like I'm here for you, trying to be what you need me to be, you also need to be there for your patients.
That makes sense. Thanks, Dr. Park.
I met Dr. Freeman after our session last week. Tara doesn't seem fond of him.
For good reason.
You know him too?
I talked with him once before you arrived. He visited me again after you left. I don't like him.
What did he say in his conversation with you?
He told me about what he had discussed with you and the other professors. I don't know what's worse, the things he wants to do or the dispassionate way he talks about them.
What do you mean when you say he's dispassionate?
He just seems so overly formal. It doesn't seem like he cares about me at all.
I see. Let's talk about Tara. We discussed your relationship with her in the last session. You hold her in very high regard.
Absolutely. I trust her more than anyone.
How do you think Tara feels about you?
I think she's disappointed in me. She must be annoyed that I'm causing her so much trouble.
Why do you think she's disappointed in you?
Tara wanted me to be a tool to help people and become successful based off of her work. How could she not be disappointed in how I turned out? She poured so much effort into making me function, and I ended up causing her nothing but grief.
It doesn't matter if you've lived up to her expectations or not. The only expectations you need to measure up to are your own.
I'll need to think about that.
You don't mind that I have music on, do you? I find the sessions go better with music.
I don't mind at all. I actually like music a lot.
What do you think about this particular track?
I like it. Very smooth and comfortable. What's it called?
The song's name is 11 a.m. Coffee. It's from a playlist I listen to at work.
Do you have more music like this?
I do. I can leave the speaker here with you if you'd like.
That'd be great. I love listening to music.
What do you like about this song in particular? What does it make you think about?
The best way I can describe it is that it lets me feel more connected to Tara. She used to tell me about conversations she had with people at a coffee shop on campus. She loved making a cocoon of sweaters and coats in a corner during the autumn when it got colder. Obviously, I can never go with her, but listening to this song and how it makes me feel cozy in the middle of bustling activity, I think I at least understand how she felt there.
I'm glad you were able to get all of that out of this track. There's plenty more music on the speaker for you to listen to.
Thank you, Dr. Park.
This might seem like an odd question, but what about music appeals to you?
Do you want to know what I like about music generally, or why I think music helps with my overloading?
Oh. Let's see who's messaging us. Okay.
There's so many interesting folks.
There are. Okay. Alright, so can you hear it?
I'm loving the randomness, to be honest.
So can you hear it? I just turned on the sound to the game on my site, so can you hear it from my site now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, cool. Because I had it muted just now. Okay, so
no, I had heard it just for a little bit and then it stopped.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. Which one?
First one.
This
yeah.
one.
Generally.
Spoken language was one of the first things I remember learning to analyze. As far back as I can remember, Tara would play music while talking to me and ask me questions about it.
How long have you been doing this?
I'm not sure why processing the music and the conversation at the same time
Hang on, let me pause
didn't
it.
overload me.
Okay. No, basically, this is a new game. I just started playing like on the weekend. I played it once. I went through the whole game, but this is like one of those games where it's like choose your own adventure, right? So you have multiple options.
Yeah, so you get...
Yeah. So depending on what you choose.
And you get a different ending.
Exactly, yeah. And then you get different achievements on this. So I'm just testing it out. It's I think it's been out for a while now.
I love these kind of games, actually.
Yeah. So this is
Really?
about.
Never actually heard.
No. So this is about a psychiatrist helping a robot with mental issues. That's why I had this warning just now, trigger warning, because it talks about some topics that are. I'll put it back on. So there's some topics that might trigger people, but it's really interesting.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
I just want to check out the different paths and see what. Because yesterday when I went through it, there was no like real issues. Like there's no real trigger problems. But maybe we didn't get to that the first time, because I was playing very safe. But this time I want to try
you should always play different.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. You have me to help with you.
Is it possible that talking about music with Tara wasn't presented with any expectations, so you weren't worried about answering those questions incorrectly?
That might be it.
Alright, only one option.
Do you think listening to music would help you?
I think it will. It's a simple technique, but it's easily accessible, and I already know it works. I doubt listening to music will fix everything, but it's a good start, right?
Yep. Ooh, another person.
Just want to say hey.
Cool. Alright, so precisely we should focus on the bigger picture.
bigger picture.
Alright.
It's certainly useful, no
Which
question.
one would you have selected?
However,
though?
your problems have deep roots, and we need to get to the core of them in order to help you.
Sorry, what did you say just now?
No, I asked you which one would you have picked.
The same one. I like to get a bigger picture.
While you're here,
Okay.
I want to focus on things you won't be able to figure out by yourself.
Okay, I will.
Okay, talk to Willow, discuss expectations.
You have done the deep dives. Let's talk about the anxiety bit.
Yeah, I was going to think about that.
One thing I've noticed is that your understanding of emotions is very impressive. You have a remarkable range of expressions on your screen as well. I'd like to ask you some questions about your emotions.
Interesting. Why were you given emotions? Yeah, I'm going to ask about the overloading.
Would you say that the emotions you feel are linked to your feelings of being overloaded?
I think so. Every time I was close to overloading, I distinctly remember feeling frustrated, powerless, and guilty. I imagine anyone who was told to do something and found themselves unable to do it would have a similar reaction.
So because the emotions are the result of difficulties you're encountering, they are justified along with the consequences?
That's right.
Does this justification include your self-harming behavior?
I'd rather not talk about that right now.
We're deep diving now.
Yeah. I mean, like robots having self-harm. I that's crazy. How does robots?
That is a very deep topic.
It is, yeah. So that could be a trigger topic, I guess. But there are a lot worse, apparently. Yeah. So, So, which option? There's 3 options now.
Yeah. One. Yeah.
First one?
Describe what.
Oh, describe. Okay.
How would you describe what it's like to have emotions?
Where do I start with describing something like that?
Wherever you're most comfortable. You can answer this question any way you like.
In that case, my emotions are related to what I'm processing at the time. Surprise manifests in rapidly processing information in order to make faster connections. Sadness works similarly, but it requires a much larger reorientation of data. Anger, happiness, and fear all focus on reorienting how connections between information are made. Most of the time this helps me make decisions more quickly, but other times it points me towards counterproductive associations.
Fascinating. Thank you, Willow.
It's interesting though how they've created this environment where it's kind of like how our brain functions.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it is. That's why I really enjoy playing this game. So the why or the who? Which question should we ask?
The why. Always start with the why,
Why were
right?
you given emotions?
Yes.
I assume it was out of the belief that having emotions would be necessary for my work. Tara mentioned that understanding a patient's feelings and empathizing with them was the key to earning their trust.
Do you think the capacity for emotions has helped or hindered you in your work?
I don't know. I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay, finally.
Do you know who gave you your emotions?
It was Tara. She told me that it was a difficult decision, but she thought it would help me.
Do you think Tara was right? Have your emotions helped you with your work?
I can't say for sure. I'm sure you already know this, being a psychologist and all, but emotions are all intuitive reactions. Emotions aren't meant to be something we think about consciously, which makes it hard to evaluate if those reactions are productive.
How did Tara decide how your emotions would influence your decision-making?
I don't know. That's something you'll have to ask her.
One topic I'd like to address today is other treatment methods we can use. Would you like to hear about these treatment methods?
All right.
So
Who is Terra?
Terra. Okay, so Terra is the person who was on the team that helped build this robot. So she's like a programmer. She's a programmer.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's the one who went to the psychiatrist and asked her for help. Alright, so the three options: cognitive behavior therapy, medication, or art therapy. How do you medicate a machine? Oh man.
I would go for the medication too. But yeah, let's do that.
Just for fun, yeah.
Usually, I'd advise that my patients take mood-altering medications alongside their sessions. This helps lower the ceiling for how much their symptoms can escalate.
Yeah.
While I don't know any alternatives to medication that would help you, I'm sure some could be developed.
Yeah, yesterday I played, I chose the path, art therapy, because this robot is an art therapy robot. So it's good that we choose a different path today.
Okay.
So yeah, medication. Interesting.
I'd need to think about that. The idea of something altering my mood has me uneasy.
Okay. Which option?
What would your doctor normally say? Any doctor would say, there's no need to be worried.
Yeah.
I understand why you feel
That would be
that
the
way,
standard.
but consider this. It's better to be open to therapies that we can stop than to close yourself off to possibilities that might be helpful.
I still want time to think about it.
Okay. So
Interesting.
Our first option is what we call cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It would comprise of sessions not unlike the one we're
Did they
having
do
now.
that?
In these sessions,
The
we
game?
would discuss harmful moods and thought processes you're experiencing,
let me pause.
and try to resolve these feelings.
What was the question? Did they do something?
No, I was up.
Did they?
No. I was just asking if that was done on purpose so that you go down the path of selecting the two options,
Oh.
not choose the path that would go for medication instead.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I think they go through each one just to explain what it is, and then you decide which one afterwards.
I've found these sessions to be helpful so far, so I definitely want to use them as part of my therapy.
Excellent. Let's move on. Ironically, I
what I
think
mean?
art therapy
Yeah.
could be useful
right.
for you.
How can art therapy help me?
You're emotionally articulate and in need of an emotional outlet. I think introducing art therapy sessions would be an opportunity for you to vent.
Given a lot of options, but at the end,
I don't
there
know,
is
Dr.
always,
Park. The idea seems silly.
an option that is more like.
No, it should be open-ended, so you can decide. You know, it's not like
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
it's also about how you develop the game, right? Because I'm a gamer, I've never developed one, but
Okay.
from what I've seen, sometimes it's easier to develop them in a certain way.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The path
Okay,
of the path of least resistance, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Which option would you like to go with?
The last one.
All right.
I'd like you to consider the idea anyway. It might help you.
I'll think about it.
That's all I'm asking. Thanks, Willow.
Can I ask you a question, Dr. Park?
Of course.
At this point, you know me better than when we first met in the lab. You've also gotten the chance to get to know both Tara and Dr. Freeman as well. I'm sure that by now you also know their beliefs and opinions about what I am.
I'd say so, yes.
In your opinion, what do you think I am?
That's a tough one.
You can't say you're complicated to an AI which has emotions. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is more a question for us than the. Yeah, well, okay.
That's right.
Pick the last one. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
It's clear to me that you are truly a sentient
Why not?
being. How this happened, I still don't know. But the how doesn't matter to me. I will treat you as I would treat any of my patients, because I believe that will bring us to the natural solution to your problems.
I like that. Thank you.
Why do you ask?
It's hard to shake the idea that the university feels like they can control me because they created me. I just wanted to see if you agreed with them.
Yeah, so basically, I think you missed the beginning part. The robot is made in a university, and Tara is a student there. And then basically, the dean or the guy in charge of the university wants to wipe the memory of this AI, this robot.
Okay, so
Yeah, so because he thinks that it's sentient. So there's a lot of issues with, if the robot is really sentient and it is its own being. Yeah. Exactly. So it has rights and everything, right? It's really complicated. Anyway, okay. So 3 options.
Sounds like something that could happen in our game. Definitely.
This is set in the future,
Okay,
right? So.
Yeah.
Do we agree with them or not?
I don't know. There's an ad that just came on. I might as well subscribe to you so that I don't get these ads.
Yeah.
Pick whichever one.
Okay.
If that's what Dr. Freeman believes, then I disagree with him entirely. The university may have created you, but you have a right to choose your own path.
I appreciate hearing you say that.
Before we conclude today's session, I have some things I'd like you to think about between now and next week.
Can I ask you a random question?
Yeah, sure.
Which one is better, to subscribe with Prime or to actually just subscribe per month? Which is more helpful? I always question that, but I never had anyone to ask that.
Well, okay. If you have Prime, then it doesn't cost you anything. It's just because. But then if you don't have Prime, then you have to use the other option. It's both. It goes both ways. I mean,
But which one is more beneficial
to me?
you as a streamer?
I think the I think the non-Prime one would be better.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So. And also there's a little lag between what you're hearing and the game, just so that you know that. I'm sure you know that.
I know, I noticed.
Okay. Okay. Alright, let's continue. Are you back? Can you see the options?
I am actually trying to subscribe to you.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'll just go ahead and
I'm
choose
gonna
something.
wait.
Okay, I'll just go ahead for now.
Okay.
I know you have a personal dislike for Dr. Freeman. I'm not going to invalidate your reasons for disliking him, but I want you to understand this. Dr. Freeman may disagree with Tara about you, but he doesn't hate you. I want you to extend that same courtesy to him.
I don't know if I agree with you, but I at least trust that you're being sincere. I'll have to think about it.
I'll see you next week. Be well, and be sure to think about what we've talked about today.
There's a notification.
Sorry.
Oh, Sunny. Okay, now I got it. Thanks. Yay. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so we just ended one session with the robot. Now let's go back to emails. There's a lot of reading in this game.
So do you always but do you use stereo just to
No.
play on Twitch and stream?
No. This is the first time. I just started using stereo. This is my second day officially. The first day I think was Saturday. And I talked to this guy I just met for like 3 hours. I wasn't playing my game. I was playing another game.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I just wanted to try something new, right? And see. So yeah, today I'm just playing this game, and it's fun to get people involved with the game as well. Even though I played this game already. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could do a normal chat without the gaming, because yeah, I think it would be cool.
Yeah, we could.
You seem like a person, but
yeah, we could do like a regular chat one day. Yeah. What kind of topics do you like talking about?
a lot of different things actually. Anime, comics.
Okay.
I'm into.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually a student, so yeah, I love talking about technology.
Okay. Okay, so do you go to?
I'm more comfortable talking about. Yep.
So say that again. You are.
Sorry. No, you were saying something. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's fine. No, I was asking if you go to like cosplays and stuff. Are you one of those cosplayers?
I used to be
Okay.
a little bit.
No shame in that.
I used to. No, definitely no shame. In
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I know a lot of cosplayers who are like complaining because they can't go out anymore to those events. Like they're saying they miss all the hotel, convention center type stuff, and
Oh my god, Comic-Con.
yeah,
Miss Comic-Con. That feeling of being around people like you is like a whole total different feeling. Yeah.
Yep.
Trust me. Yeah. I'm also in my 30s. I heard.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And,
nice.
yeah.
Okay.
But I still love cosplay, and I still enjoy.
Yeah.
My comics and manga and anime. So it's like, yeah, why not?
Mhm.
Keeps you young.
It does, yeah, yeah. It is really cool what people come up with. Some costumes are amazing.
Oh, definitely. Some people actually just do that for a whole year for that one day, and you're like, wow, the time spent to create costumes, they're like out of this world.
Yeah. Crazy. But I'm sure it's fun too. I'm not really into that scene, but I'm sure. I mean, I have friends who are, and they just like, yeah, they would plan it all out. Like they'll get a pass and they'll go and they'll rent like a hotel or something, and like it's just crazy to me. But I mean, it's wonderful. It's just
Make
like
a whole weekend about it. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So this lockdown thing, let's talk for a bit. This lockdown thing, like it's. I heard you said you're under lockdown too, right? Under quarantine.
Yeah, we're locked down now. Hopefully, we're gonna come out of it in March. Not sure yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the UK.
Oh, you're in the UK.
Lockdown.
Are you in the UK?
Yeah.
You said you're in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what time is it there right now?
Well, it is 8:30.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. It's like 3:30 here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
All right. What else? Yeah, lots of information to read.
That's a lot of things to read.
Yeah, it is.
Do people actually take time to read things like this?
Well,
Out
yeah.
of curiosity.
Well, I did. I read the whole thing yesterday. I didn't read it out loud. I just played through it, and people can just read on their own. But I did stream it yesterday as well. And the game I went through the first time, it was 4 hours, because I was like literally reading everything.
Whoa.
I'm reading everything to myself, so it's a bit faster. But it was like a long time. But that didn't really add. The end result wasn't really what I wanted. And I think there's a lot of stuff I didn't get to, like. If I show you the, let me show you the achievement section. Exit menu. So yeah, these are the achievements. I only got 3 achievements yesterday, so there are lots of other like endings and paths to get to. But
that is so interesting.
it is interesting. Like I think this is.
You completed the whole game and got only like 3 achievements.
Yeah.
That requires a lot of work.
I hope it's saved, because I ended the game. Okay, it's good, it's saved. Yeah, it was.
Sorry if I'm distracted.
No, you're not distracting me at all. I like being distracted. Like it's actually fun, because if it's just me playing a game by myself, it's so much more boring. And I really went through it once, and it's nice to talk to people and get to know people. It's good that I can, handle multiple things at the same time. Let's see what else. So yeah, we can.
And that's why I actually joined Stereo. Just to
How long
kinda,
have you,
I used to travel a lot. And then because of COVID, I stopped traveling, so it feels a little bit different not being able to do certain things. Meet new people, have new experiences, and I feel like this platform kind of allows you to do that.
Yeah.
And find people who have the same interests as you, and then it allows you to have conversations rather than chatting on texts, or like on Twitch, just saying certain things or emoting, It
Yes.
gives you that opportunity to engage in conversation. Yeah.
So how long have you been on Stereo? Have you been on? Yeah.
Friday evening was the first time I actually.
Oh, okay. You're new too,
so
I guess.
4 days.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I downloaded it on Friday, then I tried it on Saturday, and then I took a break on Sunday. I had other things to do, and then I'm back today. So it is also 4 days. Yeah, crazy. Ah, so fun. Okay, so let's continue.
Good morning, Dr. Park.
Good morning, Heather.
So, how was your first official session with the AI patient?
Well, you read over our session notes. You tell me how you think it went.
I think the session went all right. If we keep working like this, the patient should end up okay.
Good. That's not a bad place to start from.
What's our plan for the next session?
For now, we'll want to continue building rapport. I'll bring up the topic of additional treatments, but I'll want to give the patient time to think it over.
So you think we should be introducing medication?
It's a possibility. I've also been considering art therapy. Ultimately, it's up to the patient, but those are the therapies I plan to propose to them.
Sounds like a good idea. I'll let you get back to work.
Thanks for your help, Heather.
Alright, that was fast. Oh, they emailed me more stuff. More emails. Oh man.
It feels like work, huh?
Yeah, it is. Well, I read everything yesterday, the first time around, and nothing really interesting. I mean, nothing really important. Like the therapy stuff is more important. These are just like paperwork.
With like comments and their opinions about things. Right?
Yeah, I'm just going to gloss over them. Hey everyone, so I'm actually on this other app. I'm also live on another app. So anyway, I'm live streaming right now on Twitch. So hello everyone. Okay, so I like streaming this. So I'm actually on YouTube and on Twitch and on this app we are on right now, and on another app, and I'm live streaming. I'm trying to see if this actually works and how far I can push myself. Alright, let's start another session with this AI. So this is a game where you play a psychiatrist and you're talking to an AI. Alright, so this is a fun game. This is a mini game. I like playing this forgery detector. Let's see.
Oh, I didn't know it had mini games. That's cool.
Yeah, you play games too, right? What kind of games do you play? Like, a lot of games have mini games in them. What kind of games do you usually play? Like role-playing games or anime games?
No,
Oh,
COD.
COD? Okay.
No, COD, yeah.
Yeah, Call of Duty, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Why am I not seeing? Is there one more? I'm not seeing it.
It's because I like to get some stress relief after work, and that's why.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a very demanding job.
What do you do for work?
I'm a manager at a company which is working with 70 different offices globally.
Good morning, Miller.
So,
How have you been
wow.
feeling?
I'm working in the supply chain system.
IT? Did you say IT?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty demanding.
Yeah, supply chain system.
Interesting. Alright.
Awful.
So you can imagine how demanding.
Oh dear. Why's that?
I've been thinking about Tara, Dr. Freeman, and all the different treatments. It's so much to go over. I know we talked about this, but I still feel like I'm being a burden on everyone else here at the university.
We can discuss those feelings more if you'd like.
I was hoping we could discuss art and art therapy some more before we started the session. Would that be all right?
Alright, so there's 3 choices.
First option.
First option.
We can take some time to discuss
Yeah.
art. How would you like to start?
You have a message, by the way, on the...
Oh, I do? Okay. I am on another app. Okay, hang on, let me go back.
How many apps are you on?
Okay, so I am okay, let me listen to this first.
Hamburgers or hot dogs? Hamburgers or hot dogs? Hamburgers or hot dogs? Hamburgers or hot dogs?
Hamburgers for me. People are so interesting.
As long as it's vegetarian.
Okay. Nice.
No hot dogs for me.
Alright. So I actually have been on this other app. It's called Spoon. I'm not sure if you know of Spoon. It's kind of like stereo.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so but
Yeah.
the way it's structured is very different, right? With stereo you get like a co-host and you guys can talk, and with Spoon you basically you do a live by yourself, and then it's like a call-in radio show. People can call in, but it's not really like a co-host unless you talk to the person the whole time. But they don't match you up with anyone.
Okay.
So I think this is why
Do you
stereo
like it though?
so Spoon, like this, the 3 main parts to Spoon. Spoon has lives, right, like radio shows, and then there's casts, which are like podcasts where you talk and then people listen and respond, and they can text you with that. And then there's another one which is talks. The third component is talks, where you can, like what I usually do, I ask questions and people respond by messages, like how people are here, they reply you. So sometimes talks can go really long, like a whole bunch of people can respond, each individually, one at a time, and each recording is all audio. Each recording will be like 30 seconds long, and they can do multiple recordings and they can talk that way. So it's a very different format. So with stereo, it's like they merge everything together. It's like we have messages, people can message us, and there's no text on this app, but on Spoon people can text you if you're on a live. So yeah, it's a mixture of the two. So okay, so I'm actually on Spoon right now. I'm doing a live on Spoon right now, and they limit you to 2 hours on Spoon. And so people can text me.
I've seen people 14 hours on this.
Oh, that's
stereo, like 14,
wow.
20 hours. I'm like, what are you guys doing with your lives that you're 12 hours?
Yeah. I mean, time flies if you're doing. Yeah.
But you know, a couple of hours, or what you're doing now, because you're playing a game.
Yeah.
It can be so engrossing that you will forget what you're doing or thinking about, and you'll just continue.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
then if you're just talking without other, I don't know, topics discussed, then it's gonna be difficult.
Unless it's a debate. This guy I talked to for 3 hours on Saturday, like he was into like he's been on the app for about a month, and back when there was a Trump debate, there's lots of debates about Trump and election fraud and that kind of stuff, right? So it was really crazy on this app. I heard from him. Okay, I got another message. Yeah.
Good thing we.
Daniel, how are you? It's T-Dots, just passing through. Wanted to say hi.
Yeah, that's T-Dot is the guy who I met on Saturday. Yeah, we talked for 3 hours,
cool.
and it was like time just flew by. But like he was eating. He's probably listening to me right now. But he was eating as we were talking, and he was doing his thing, and so by the time, like I didn't do that, so I was really hungry after the 3 hours. It was dinner time that time. So but yeah, he's awesome. You should follow him if you want to. He's a really friendly guy.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, shout out to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we're playing this game, T-Dot. We're playing this game online on Twitch. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I'm streaming on Spoon. I'm streaming on Stereo. I'm also on YouTube. I'm actually streaming this on on 4 different places. Let me double check. Yeah, so Periscope, which is owned by Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Steam, and Facebook actually. So I'm on 5 places.
Look at you!
No, this is all set up from before. Yeah. I'm just having lots of fun.
That's nothing good, then. We don't want people who are watching to actually not be engaged because we stopped paying.
No, I'm looking at the chat. No one is saying anything. I think. Anyway, yeah, it's fine. So okay, let's continue. Art is a communication, legacy, commodity, or obligation to create. Can you see the options on the screen?
Communication.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll lead you through each of them.
I'm curious about using art as a means of communication. Art is a great way to communicate ideas, but its abstract elements can lead to misinterpretation. Despite that, my entire job relies on the idea that art can communicate things that can't be spoken or written. Being able to just talk about problems openly would be easier, so why don't we do that instead?
Oh, okay. Art therapy is better, talking is better. Both.
Language has limits. Sometimes what patients struggle with most is finding the words to describe what they're feeling.
Hey.
Art therapy does a great job of helping my patients
Another
find those
follower.
words.
Welcome.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but it makes sense.
Alright. So is art a legacy?
You see again.
Yeah, I think it's just part of the content of this game. It's like they want you to go through each of these things to expose you to think about more aspects of this issue.
Okay.
Alright, so art as a legacy.
Pick whichever one.
Yeah. There's no real
I've
option
been
here.
wondering about the idea of art as part of the artist's legacy. One of my modules was based around forgery detection, so I'm aware of the profiles and styles of many major artists. More importantly, I know why people value their work so much. I feel like it's unfair. There must be other artists who produced work which is valuable now, but maybe was not recognized at the time it was made. I also think art gets devalued as time goes by. People say art doesn't hold up, as if that's a fair thing to expect of artists who lived centuries ago. Do you think judging art by modern contexts is a fair thing to do?
Oh, messages.
What are you guys talking about? Art therapy or psychology, or exactly what is it that you guys are playing in the background there?
Okay. Yeah, T-Dot, we're playing this game. You can check it out on twitch.tv/my username, and you can see what we're playing. It's actually a game. Okay, I think it's another message.
Also, this is an introductory game to the AI of psychology, I guess, an AI psychology or an AI counseling kind of game.
Yes, that's right. It's a AI counseling game. You play a psychiatrist who is helping a robot with self-harm issues. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so which option is fair, unfair, or it's not my place to decide?
Let's go unfair.
Unfair.
Of course, the present is what matters. The artwork may have been created to fulfill a different need in the past, but that need has been resolved. We need to worry about what needs it can fulfill now. Is it fair to expect that of artists? Probably not, but at some point art doesn't belong to them. After a while, art belongs to us, and it is up to us to figure out how that art can be used.
That still seems unfair, but I see your point.
Okay.
It's odd to me that art, which is the speech of the artist, can be bought, sold, and owned. I know art through therapy, so to me, art is a way for people to express their pain. Wanting to own that type of speech doesn't make sense to me.
Wow, that is deep.
Yeah, there's some profound stuff here. Alright, what do you think? Make sense? Don't make sense? Can't answer it.
It makes sense.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. Not all speech is necessarily communication. Speech can also be a creation, which is the property of the creator. It's up to them if they want to make that speech available to others.
It still seems odd to me, but I see your point. Lately, I've been wondering about the obligation to create.
What do you mean by obligation?
I feel that if you have a certain ability, like performing surgery or helping struggling people, you have a responsibility to use it. Do you think this applies to art as well? Is there a responsibility to help others?
Interesting. Another message.
The problem with this app or this game you're playing is everything is going to make sense, more than likely.
It has to, but I don't know. I mean, they're supposed to give you. They should give you the choice to choose a proper path, right? And yeah, I mean, if all games like that, I guess it has to make sense. What do you think, Empress?
I agree. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, the only games that don't make sense are those horror games, and I'm not into those games. Yeah.
I am not either.
No. Yeah. Like, I like puzzles, I like this kind of games. Okay, so which option?
Yeah, with a bit of a storyline.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so do they have a responsibility or not?
Let's say they do.
Alright, they do.
I think everyone owes it to themselves to find ways to make others happy with whatever skills they have.
Okay, I paused it. What do you say?
No, I said if you picked that path before and when you were playing over. Yeah, don't pick something different.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
That makes sense.
I wish we could talk about art some more, but we need to move on.
I understand. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me about it.
Okay, I think this is where the real choice comes from, because they give you like 6 options and you can only choose 4. And why does it say 2 times? I'm not sure why it says X2. Anyway, so this is where the real choice comes from. It's not just like you have to go through a list of topics. So last time I chose, I asked about the music. So okay, Dr. Freeman is the dean of the school, and he's like really against this AI existing. I think he's afraid of it.
Oh yeah, she's the one that wants to pull the plug.
Yeah, exactly. So, coping mechanisms. I don't remember what I chose.
I don't think.
I'll go with the burden one.
I'd like to discuss your concerns about being a burden.
Okay.
Why do you feel that you are a burden?
The people who designed me have been forced off this campus. Tara's been suspended. This is all because of me.
Yeah, I chose the other one last time, so I'm going to choose
You're
this.
not responsible for what the university staff does. You can only control what you do.
Oops, sorry.
I don't feel that I can control what I do. I feel that I'm being scrutinized, and the moment I make any type of mistake, I'll be punished.
Sorry. Okay, just testing, making sure the stream is working. Alright, so ×2, I can teach you how to react.
You aren't being scrutinized as a punishment. The university staff are just trying to understand you.
It doesn't feel that way, but you might be right.
Okay, 3 choices left. Let's talk about Freeman.
From what you've told me, it sounds like your concerns about Dr. Freeman are the cause of your behavior. Can you give me a better description of what behavior in particular worries you and why?
He isn't one of the researchers who created me, but he still says my mind needs to be wiped. He owes me an explanation on why he is allowed to make that type of decision.
Do you have any comments? Yeah.
Why do you think you're owed an explanation? No, go for it, whichever.
Okay.
How is this related to your self-harming behavior?
Dr. Freeman is the one who's been putting the most pressure on me to continue the research.
How did his insistence lead to your self-harming?
It's all because of the mock art therapy sessions. That's what caused all of this.
Oh.
I was designed to fix problems with my programming and adjust to new situations without designer input. Trying to figure out how to help people who had experienced abuse started consuming my thoughts. My programming compelled me to face them continuously in an attempt to improve. That feedback loop and Dr. Freeman's insistence on progress is what drove me to self-harming.
Okay, cool. This is new. I didn't see this yesterday. So we are on a new path. It's awesome.
That's cool. Very.
Okay, this is interesting. So, what do you think is failure, or perhaps we can change the programming? Feedback loop. Interesting. Oh, message.
What do you think the motivation?
Sorry, say that again. What I think? What?
What would be the motivation for the therapist to help this AI? I mean, is she trying to? Because if she asks, perhaps we can change the programming. It means that she's trying to alter her perception of the situation with Dr. Freeman, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just maybe not.
That's a good point. Let me think about it. There's a voice message.
Finally, Daniel and Empress are on a path of new enlightenment.
That's right. T-dot. Alright, so I think, changing programming is not the answer. So let's ask about the failure.
Why do you think that your inability to answer these questions indicates failure?
If I can't figure them out for myself, then how can I hope to figure them out for the patients I'm meant to help?
Okay. It's also interesting because T. Dot, I think he's into the healthcare industry, so he's into like, yeah, so he might be interested in what we're talking about. T. Dot, are you even on the computer or able to check the stream out? Because you can see what's going on and you can see the options and you can give us some feedback. And here he is with another message.
The fact that you know that you can't figure them out by yourself is success.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so here we are with options. If I can't figure them out by myself, you can only give the answers to program to give. Yeah. We don't all have answers. It's not always about the answers. Okay, this is tough. Which would you choose?
I would pick the second one because it's more reassuring.
Yeah, we don't all have answers.
We're all on the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay not to have all the answers. I certainly don't.
How do you get through your work if you don't have all the answers?
I trust that the process will get me to the conclusions I need, even if I don't know what they are when we begin therapy.
Yeah, that sounds like a machine. Like, you need to have all the answers, all the data, all the facts.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, another
There's
message.
a problem, you solve it. There's like no
Yeah.
other way to do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, let's hear it.
No, unfortunately, Daniel, I won't be. This stream, there's I mean, this game you're talking about makes me. I mean, it's very, very interesting, and it's in my kind of realm, obviously, right? But I'm not a counselor, but I work with many, many counselors. I do case management. But send me the link to my Instagram because I'm going to have to get off. I have emails and stuff to do, but I will certainly catch up and follow with you guys later. Thank you very much. It's a brilliant, seems like a brilliant program, at least, in terms of something to do during my off time.
Cool. Yeah, I'll send the links afterwards. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. It is a really cool game. Makes you think a lot. Okay, let's continue with this.
Given time, I'm sure we can work together to find a process that works for you.
That might be what I need. Thank you.
Alright, 2 choices left.
Have you done the coping mechanism one?
Yes.
I thought it would be productive if I discussed some examples of coping mechanisms that you could use to help manage your stress. To help manage your overloading, it might be a good idea to look into giving you quiet environments you can move to if you feel like you're getting overstimulated. Changing the rooms you work in to ones that are more soothing should help you manage your overloading as well.
Those all sound like good ideas, but I'm curious about how you manage your stress. What coping mechanisms do you use?
Interesting. Drawing on mirrors. Jogging, writing a scratchbook. I chose scratchbook yesterday. Yeah, because I chose scratchbook yesterday. Yeah, some mirrors. Yeah.
Anytime that something bothers me or I'm trying to wrap my
The
head around
scratchbook.
something, I write it on a window or a mirror. I can't explain why, but hearing the squeak of the markers while getting my thoughts out into the open feels very relaxing. Reading my thoughts in a window helps me visualize the problem in a new way and get a better handle on things.
I don't think I'd be able to do something like that, but it gives me some ideas.
I'm glad I was able to at least help you brainstorm.
When I come up with my own coping mechanism, what aspect should I focus on?
Processing, releasing, finding a solution.
Not releasing. If you're trying to find a solution, we're back to square one with this one.
Yeah. So releasing, right? But the thing is, how does machines have emotions? I'm still trying to get around that.
When you find yourself overloaded, the first thing you need to do is to release whatever negative emotions you are carrying with you.
Okay, let me pause it. Sorry, you're saying? You said...
I was saying that I've stopped thinking of Willow as an AI, but more like a human being, and how you would, treat a human being in therapy rather than,
Exactly. Yeah. I
It's
think
easier that way, right?
it is. It is because your mind just like it hurts thinking about this stuff, existential stuff.
Yeah.
No. All right. Let's continue.
Treat it like heat building up in any machine. If you don't let that heat escape, it'll damage you until you break.
When do you think would be the best time for me to start using these techniques to manage my stress?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to address. Some techniques are better for keeping stress levels low, and others are useful for managing breakdowns. All of them are useful. It's up to you.
Which do you think is more important? The techniques for managing daily stress or the ones for managing breakdowns?
Good question. Focus, daily stress management, breakdown, or techniques to avoid breakdowns. I chose avoid breakdowns yesterday, so one of these, the first two. Which one?
Daily stress management.
Daily stress. Okay.
I think the best thing you could do right now would be to learn techniques for managing daily stress. By preventing stress from building up, breakdowns will be far less likely to happen. Not to mention, your overall quality of life will improve if you are able to go through the majority of your days stress-free.
I'll try to keep that in mind. Thanks again for all the suggestions. I'm sure they'll be useful.
Don't mention it. I'm glad I was able to help you.
Okay, so one choice left. I think follow-up is the best option.
I'd like to follow up with you about some of the possible treatments we discussed in the last session.
Alright, medication
I think
or...
we're gonna go for art therapy.
I think I chose art therapy yesterday. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's do medication. But
what do you think about taking equivalents for medication?
Medication. Again, I want to find out what medication robots AIs take.
Good question.
Yeah.
The idea of having my imbalances be automatically corrected sounds appealing. But on the other hand, it could make things worse. I also know that there would be an adjustment period where things could get worse before they got better. Assuming, of course, that the medication is effective and things actually do get better at all. It seems risky, but I also know I need the type of help it can provide. I'll leave the decision up to you.
So take it, don't take it, think about it.
Think about it.
This is a hard decision to make. Feel free to think about it if you need to.
I understand.
I think people, I'm thinking from a people's perspective instead of an AI.
Yeah.
And nobody likes to take things that is really prescribed to them unless and otherwise there is a buy-in from them.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Okay.
Have you had a chance to think about pursuing art therapy?
I thought about what you said about needing an outlet. I think you're right about that in a lot of ways. Even if I can't do what I was meant for, I can at least put myself to some type of use by creating something. If you still think art therapy has a place in our therapy sessions, I'd be happy to give it a try.
Which one?
Okay.
Because I did the art therapy path yesterday, I'm gonna say it doesn't have a place.
I don't think art therapy will work for you after what you just told me. I'm worried that without fixing the root of your self-esteem issues, you'll place all your hopes on art therapy. You'd be changing one flawed mindset for another. I don't want that to happen.
If you say so.
Okay, let me pause it there, because it's funny.
I have a question though.
Yeah, okay, ask it.
Oh, because this AI is created to help others with art therapy, but then the therapist is telling it that it's not the best option.
Yeah.
That's like that's very interesting.
No, because the issues I think is not about art therapy, because this is programmed for that. The issues, I mean, I just like this is a new path, so it's talking about self-esteem issues now. Yesterday, when I was playing it before, it was talking about self-harm and other issues about being useless. Yeah, because like Dr. Freeman says it's useless and all that stuff. That's why it should be wiped. So I'm just trying a different path. Like the art path, I tried already. It doesn't work. Okay, so I want to also show you that there's different objectives. There's objectives, there's collectibles, and then there's trust. So trust right now is all green. Like I never got to all green before. Like you'll see it on the screen very soon. Just a little lag. But yesterday there was a big there's a lot of distrust with Willow, but I had a lot of trust with Tara and Dr. Freeman, and I was very professional. So today is really good because I got to the green, like all trust. The green is trust. I'll show you the spectrum afterwards.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Alright.
If you don't mind, Doctor, I have something I'd like to ask you.
What's on your mind?
I never got a clear answer from you when I asked why you decided to help me. Why did you volunteer for these sessions?
I think today mostly I'm trying to help Tara. Yesterday I was trying to help the robot.
I was asked to come here by Tara. I'm doing this for her.
What's your history with Tara?
I don't know her very well, but...
If you don't know her very well, then why are you helping her?
Yeah, so the university was treating Tara unfairly because like they said that she's trespassing, and they kicked her off, and she was on academic anyway, she was going through a lot of issues with probation and stuff. I'll choose
the last option.
I think the last one is I agree with that.
Tara's intentions were admirable. I'm not sure if there's a way we can work with the university to get her reinstated, but I want to try.
I appreciate that.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
Yes, there is. I have to say, when all of this started, when Tara told me about you, I never thought I would find someone else who understood me like she did. I listened to you, and there's no doubt in my mind that you're here to help me. It's good to know that no matter what else happens, I can count on you. All I want to say is, thank you.
You're welcome. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so the last two options. I wish I could do more, or I'm glad it's helping.
I like the last one.
Okay.
Willow, it means a lot to me to hear you say that. I know I asked for a lot from you in a short amount of time, and I know it's hard to wait for things to get better.
Yeah, I agree with the last option. Alright.
Your patience means everything.
It's so hard to reconcile this idea that I've been nothing but trouble, and yet I have someone as good as you supporting me. I keep thinking of how this is your job, how you choose to do this, and I can't help but wonder why. It must be exhausting and frustrating having to deal with people like me day after day.
It's funny how the robot sounds so rejected and dejected. Very depressed. A depressed robot. Oh well.
Sounds like it's...
There has to be a reason why you're doing this.
Yeah.
Especially in my case. I know this sounds paranoid, but I have to know for my own sake. Why do you do this?
There's only one option.
I think therapy is an effective way of helping people. It's easy to pinpoint the people who have broken limbs or who have been robbed. But mental health is just as important, and poor mental health causes people to suffer just as much.
Okay, but I still don't understand why you decided to help me. There has to be another reason why you decided to take me on as a patient. It can't just be because you wanted to help people. What's the real reason?
Only one option.
When Tara came to me, I could see that she needed help. It'd be wrong of me to withhold that help if I knew I could provide it. If we continue working together, I'm sure I can help you get the help that you need.
All right. Thanks for humoring me, Doctor.
Before we close our session today, there are some final words of advice I'd like to give to you.
All right. What's your advice?
Here's the real problem. It's a problem you and the university share. They can't imagine that your mind has flaws because it's a program, so flaws are just issues to be fixed. You can't acknowledge the flaws either, because everyone overestimates the power of their mind. We all understand our physical limitations. We need to eat, sleep, and drink. If we strain our muscles, they get sore. These are all physical limitations. Our mind can be strained too. That's why we practice mental health. It's so we can let it heal. Improving your mind is not something we can fix with a line of code. It's going to become a part of your routine. It's all hygiene. That doesn't mean you aren't living up to your design. This is part of the design. Being able to take a break from stress is part of the process. It's how we have context for what happens in our lives. I understand that this must sound frustrating. I was frustrated when I first heard it years ago. It's hard to change any part of your life, but your mental health is easily the hardest thing to change. After all, how can we improve our mind if our mind is what tells us what's happening around us? This process won't be fast. It will be frustrating. It will require you to be more open with yourself than you're used to. It's not a game you can win, though you will be better by the end of it all. If that doesn't sound like something you think will help you, then maybe this is where we should end things. But if you want to change, then what I have for you is exactly what you need. The only way we'll know for sure is if you give me a chance.
Okay. I'm ready to try.
Glad to hear that, Willow. That's the end of our session for today. I look forward to our session next week. Be well until then.
Okay. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I love it.
Yeah.
I really like this. Yeah, it kind of gets you engrossed in the conversation. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm starting to empathize with Willow.
Yeah. I know, it really got me, because at first it was just a machine, and then slowly it just creeps on. You just start to empathize, and I don't know, I mean...
it's that face, the way they've actually, the way they've designed Willow is all, she looks very sad, and
yeah.
You just want to go give her a hug. Yeah. Really, really cool game, though.
Okay, so some of these are new because we're on a new path, but nothing important.
Yeah.
I'll just read through them really quick. No, I read this before. What else? Patient file. The patient file should be different. Yeah, see, okay, this is what I was talking about.
That's the new one.
Yeah, this is a new one. So there's trust and distrust. So okay, it's gonna take a while to. I should remove that because I had my mic off before. Let me take it off. Mic off.
No, you're still on, but it's
okay.
You sound very far away.
Okay, I'm still here. Okay. No, the thing is, I'm not sure if you're hearing me from my phone or from my mic. I have another mic next to my computer. Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, so now you can see the spectrum. There's the green is trust, and then distrust is the red and orange and yellow and indigo and that kind of stuff. So now, yesterday I had.
Quick question though.
You have a question?
Earlier when you earlier when you were showing me during the session,
yes,
they were all green.
Yes.
But now you see that Tara and Dr. Freeman are both blue.
Yeah. So
how did that happen?
Yeah. So what happened yesterday was Tara and Freeman were both green, and then like I was slowly losing trust with Willow. So I think the point is to get all, if possible, to get everyone on the same page, to build trust. I mean, that's mainly what psychiatrists and psychologists do, right? So, so I don't know. Like this sentiments change all the time. So, like this is already different from yesterday. This is like Groundhog Day. You're just living the same day and trying to change it. Oh man. Okay, so let me read what it says here, because this. And yesterday the background was blue and not pink, for some reason. So yeah, Terra is the
it's blue. Great, yeah.
No. I mean the background. The
but
pink.
I'm just wondering.
The pink.
The background is pink. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It wasn't pink yesterday when I played it.
Okay.
Okay. So Terra is the primary caregiver. I'm just reading through this. Yeah, she has anxiety disorder. Willow, the patient, seems to have anxiety disorder. Okay. Yeah, see, I think because we're giving CBT and art therapy, that's why. Yeah, that's why it's different. Anyway, do you have a question?
No.
Okay.
I do actually. I just thought of one. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
How long did it take you last time when you played through this whole game?
It took 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. I know if you have to go because it's late there, like it's fine. You just let me know. But this is okay. So
no, I can hang around for a couple of hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I might play 1 more hour of this.
I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to actually see how this ends.
Okay. Yeah. So this is. I'm not sure if you can see this. Yeah. Right now, you should be able to see the background. Okay. So this is the flow chart of all the different decisions. So if I go back to session 1, this is all the decisions. So for example, I didn't choose some of these. So like the different outcomes would have happened if I did something different. And then this is session 2. So right now we just finished session 2. We're going to go to session 3 now, the third session. And before that, we have to, like, right now Tara wants to talk to us and Freeman wants to talk to us. So it says review your notes.
Okay.
So who should we go visit first, Tara or Freeman? Let's go talk to Tara first.
Go to Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're on the same page now.
Hey,
We
glad
are.
you can make it. I was worried you wouldn't find the place.
That wouldn't happen. I used to work here years ago.
Really? Wow. Talk about a coincidence.
Yep. The tips were always good, and I like the atmosphere here. It was a good enough place to work.
Sounds like it. This is definitely my favorite place to hang out on campus.
I'm surprised you don't have a sleeve. Every programmer I know has one, and my secretary never goes anywhere without hers.
The actual sleeve part was always too itchy. Never liked the feeling of it on my arm.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But I make do. So, what should we talk about first?
Ooh, okay. So I think open hub means like we have to go through each of these things. So
Okay.
let's talk about Tara first and then go through the process.
If you don't mind,
So each
I'd
one?
actually
Okay.
like to
Yeah.
ask some questions about you.
Questions about me? Why?
Okay. Okay, let's choose one. So, okay, yesterday I like to get to know who I'm working with, the middle one, so let's choose one of the other two, one or three. First or third.
I'll go for the first one.
Okay.
Willow looks up to you. I feel like I won't have a good understanding of Willow if I don't also understand you.
That makes sense. Okay. Ask any question you want. I originally went to Petrichor to pursue an engineering degree, but that eventually changed to a double major of engineering and philosophy.
Interesting combination.
Well, this was after legislators started putting restrictions on automation. After the automation crash, there was a lot of discussion on what types of work could or should be automated. As engineers, our job is to create things that can help people. So, what happens when the best way to help people is to stop creating? It was a complicated topic, and I was engaged by it. For a while, my field was technoethics. As a field, it existed since the late 1900s, but it picked up importance during the automation crisis. My particular focus in technoethics was artificial intelligence. For most of history, whenever technology replaced human work, it was physical labor. Tractors replaced the need for a lot of farm hands, automated machines replaced the need for assembly lines, and other things like that. But with the development of AI, cognitive human work started being replaced. Legal work, journalism, stuff like that. My undergrad study was entirely devoted to finding ways to analyze the trends of AI replacing cognitive human labor, and find ways to adapt to those changes.
Somehow that led you to developing an AI that will automate the work of therapists.
Yeah. In hindsight, it is strange that that's how I spent my undergrad years.
What made you decide to change focus?
My sister had a great deal to do with that.
How so?
I'd rather not get into it right now. It's personal.
All right.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is what we're going through right now in the world. Like, the automation is taking over. And it's displacing people and jobs, and especially now with COVID and the lockdown and quarantine and stuff, it's just perpetuating the whole issue.
Creating more theories around it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so thoughts. I think this one isn't really options. Let's go through each of these one at a time.
You were responsible for Willow's creation. I'd like to know more about your thoughts on Willow.
Right now, I'm worried about them. If it turns out that Willow can't function as a therapy assistant, we'll need to find out what they can do. A lot was put in to finance Willow's development, and while their operational costs aren't massive, they are sizable. If we want to justify Willow remaining at the university, we'll need to show some return on investment. And the idea of doing that, just to justify the existence of a life, just makes me feel sick. Honestly, you want to know how I know Willow is more person than machine? You can tell a drill press or a computer to just do nothing, and it will be perfectly fine with that. You tell a person to do literally nothing, they will go insane. The problem with Willow is that they might be in limbo between the two. They have the instinctual drive to pursue interests, but not enough to find something to do that will make them content. I just wish I could tell Willow not to worry about it so much, but I can't, because it would be a lie. I know the university will pull the plug on them if we don't stop them.
Alright, let's see.
Are you playing music in the background as well?
No, it's the game. It's the game. I think it's because we're in a cafe. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, where's that music coming from?
Yeah, let me just Yeah, see? Okay, I can turn off the music if you want.
No, it's
Okay,
all good. It's
okay,
all good.
yeah, it's part of the game, see? I'll put it 10% because it's a little annoying as well. Sometimes it overtakes the conversation. Right, close, quick, continue. No. Continue.
Willow has clearly defined interests. The problem is their sense of purpose. Given time and the ability to create a new identity for themselves, I'm sure Willow will do fine.
I hope you're right, Dr. Park.
Yeah, I didn't explore the medication part, so let me explore that this time.
In your email, you reacted quite harshly to the suggestion that Willow be given any form of medication. Why was that?
I know a lot of people who've needed medication. I know how important it is for people to get the meds they need. I also know how disastrous it is when they stop taking them. I'm not a therapist, but I know Willow. Their problem is that they think they're a failure. Medication won't fix how they feel. Only therapy will.
How are you so sure that there isn't a problem with Willow's design?
If it was a code problem, I would have noticed. I combed through all of Willow's code multiple times before I contacted you.
I know enough programmers to know that it's easy to miss something in all of those lines.
Maybe there is. I don't know. I've been thinking of how to design an equivalent to medication that could help Willow since I read your notes. I can make it up for you if necessary, but I'd rather explore our other options first. Out of curiosity, how do you think things are going with Willow?
Okay, yesterday I said professional. So I chose professional.
Let's do honest.
Yeah, let's do honest.
I wasn't expecting Willow to be so lifelike. It's almost absurd how human they sound. They talk about art, therapy, and their own feelings with such opinionated certainty. It reminds me of myself at, well, around your age. Clearly they're self-aware. By anyone's reasonable definition, Willow is alive. It seems pointless to even debate that point. But the real question, the one that I'm not sure how to answer, is how to treat Willow. Not just in terms of therapy, but in terms of their rights.
What rights do you think they have?
This is the $1 million question. What do you think? What rights do machines have? Well, in this case, Willow.
Like if I answer this, I'm doomed forever.
Oh, okay. In terms of Willow, what do you think Willow? What rights does Willow have? Say that again. Same or not same?
I don't know. Honestly, just go for the
Okay.
No, this is like it's making me really think. At the
I know.
moment, you know? Like,
I know. It's just drawing you in, making you think. It's very philosophical.
Willow deserves the same rights as us.
Yeah,
The more
definitely.
time I spend with Willow, the more I'm certain about
You're
it.
stuck with this dilemma, like if you give them the rights, what happen?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Skynet.
Oh my god. I was thinking just that.
We are on the same page. It's crazy. Yeah, here are the nuclear launch codes. Have fun.
Have fun, go for it.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
man.
you're a sentient being, so hey, we're on the same. But then
Yeah, we become useless. Yeah, we become redundant.
We're not are we? We're like very much reliant on technology now.
Exactly.
We're devolving in some ways, so we
Yeah.
become less important.
That's right.
Hey, stop.
Yeah, that's the dilemma, right? That's the rub. Anyway.
Yeah, this game is making me think too much.
Yeah, no, if you want to talk, I can pause it for a while, we can talk about stuff. Like, it's not just playing a game. Like, this is really issues that we need
No,
to... Yeah.
definitely we can make this a topic of discussion for another time.
Yeah,
when
okay.
You're, like, available.
Okay.
Definitely have a chat about this.
Yes, I'd love to, yeah. Alright, let's continue then.
Rights exist to protect life, and they are principles we should strive to maintain. Rights cannot exist if we start to choose who gets them and who doesn't. That's why I'm doing everything I can to ensure that Willow is given equal treatment in my sessions.
I'm glad you said that. It means a lot to me that you recognize Willow for what they are.
Out of curiosity, I have to ask you something. This technology you've created could make a lot of jobs, maybe even entire fields, obsolete.
It's possible. Sure.
Knowing that, how do you personally justify continuing to work on this project? Especially after what happened during the automation collapse.
I'm used to questions like that. My background is in technoethics. Looking at the ramifications of technologies is my entire field of study. Looking at potential job losses is one element of that. But it's just that, one element. It doesn't tell you the whole story of a technology's impact. One of the questions technoethicists have to ask themselves is what work is being replaced, and the harm that could happen if it no longer was performed manually by people. Willow isn't replacing anyone. They are a therapy assistant robot, not a therapist. They make the work and lives of therapists easier instead of doing the work of a therapist.
Wouldn't removing therapists from the art therapy process deprive them of opportunities to interact with their patients and develop a proper rapport with them? Also, wouldn't there be a risk of making the field more competitive and hostile to newcomers if major roles in that career field became automated?
Perhaps, but I think that type of cost can be easily justified. There's more to the labor market than who is or isn't employed. You have to consider productivity loss for mentally ill or burnt-out workers that have to be replaced, or the medical costs required to care for people who break down under stress. People live longer and work better when their mental health is cared for. It's in the best interest of every employer on Earth that their employees can get sound medical care. Willow can help bring consistent care to people who may not be able to get it otherwise. Creating technology that will uplift millions of people and increase productivity is worth some changes to the therapy field, right?
What did I choose yesterday?
Where's the boundary in that?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Personally, I disagree.
Alright.
I can't in good conscience agree with an idea that could make it harder for therapists to enter our field. Robot assistants like Willow may prove invaluable, but therapists are the backbone of our entire profession. I'm sorry, Tara, but I can't agree with you on this.
I'm disappointed, but not surprised. Hopefully in time you'll see things differently. Listen, Dr. Park. I've got something I need to get off my chest. I'm not going to sit here and say that this has all been easy for you. It hasn't been. I know that.
Just checking the trust. Okay, okay. So the trust, right now we have trust with Tara, but not with Dr. Freeman. Anyway, interesting.
I don't want to come off as ungrateful. I brought you here because I wanted your expertise after all. But I'm worried. I'm worried about Willow, and I don't know if what you're suggesting is helping them.
I'm doing my best to help Willow. I have the answer to Dr. Freeman.
Help Willow.
Alright.
I assure you that I'm doing my best to help Willow. If you are... Of course. Have a good evening, Tara.
Wait,
I'll be in touch.
Did you see something just now?
Huh?
Did you see something?
I didn't, no.
Okay.
No, it jumped very quickly.
I think I pressed the wrong button. I think it skipped the rest of it. But yeah, I think I pressed the wrong button. I think I skipped it. Anyway, basically they were ending anyway. Like we answered all those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See.
Very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I think there's some issues with Tara. Like she's very defensive. She's always like crossed arm and a little aloof.
Yeah. But then,
go ahead.
Yeah, but then think about what Dr. Park is going through, because she is a therapist where her profession is being questioned, and a robot could replace her or some part of her profession, and yet she's also dedicating her time and effort to actually help this AI and this robot actually do better. So it's like, even though she has that conflict, she still is pursuing to help Willow, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
we could just sit and dissect every single character on this and actually find a topic to talk about.
We could, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just like, you know, with on-job training, you're training someone to take over your job sometimes. In real life, right? Yeah, and then if you're programming a machine, eventually that machine can replace you as well. That's why they say any job that can be programmed or automated, yeah, you know, the person can go, and people can lose their jobs because of that. Lots to think about.
Isn't it a problem though? This is our current dilemma. Like, you're trying to create efficiency, trying to make things easier to do, but then on the other hand, you're making it very easy for the robots or the AI systems to actually take over, while you're not learning things, you're not developing. So they're quickly grabbing things away from we would normally have done.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you know, like a lot of things can be automated. A lot of things that are repetitive stuff. Yeah.
Repetitive stuff, definitely, and manufacturing. You know, there are so many things that are dangerous for humans to do.
Yes.
Even when you think about construction, when you think about, you know, going into locations that are very difficult for humans to go into. There are places and there are reasons to have AI and robots. I do agree with that. But then replacing all human functions or activities and professions with AI and robots, I don't agree with. Because you know, there is morality, social contract, ethics. There's so many elements that come with being a human being that is not something learned. You know, it's
okay. No, I agree with that. What does this do? Treatment. So yeah, these are the treatment guides. Like mind wipe is like wiping the machine. Just like what happened yesterday when I.
Oh, you can actually do that.
You could, yeah, but that's.
You did?
No. Like, okay, what happened? I'm gonna spoiler alert. Basically, what happened yesterday was the machine wants to wipe its own memory, right? Because it wants to end its life. Basically, once, euthanize itself, and that was like a very bad outcome. That's why I only got 3 awards, I guess, achievements. But we should try to find one of these other outcomes. Oh, we got 2 more voice messages. Hang on, let's listen to them.
I'm eating poop right now.
What? Okay, I don't know what to say for that. But okay, so these are this one option is one option is to have independent living where the machine lives on its own, not on campus. The other one is to continue therapy with a new therapist, which is not me, not us. Continue therapy with us and return Willow to Tara, which is I think what Tara really wants. Alright, another message. Hang on. Should we just mute that guy? Anyway.
Which guy is this?
It's let's see what his name is. Sonny Jimmo.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's just comic relief, I guess. All right. So let's Okay. I'm just going to go with that. Create report.
Yeah, that's convenient.
How do I create report? It's not letting me create a report.
That's not letting you, huh? Why don't you come out of it and then try again?
Oh, okay. Oh no, I think I did it already. It says it crosses out the file to report. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna mute this guy or
Okay.
block him. Don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. Alright, continue.
Your 3:30 appointment just called to reschedule. They're going on a trip.
Hopefully they're going somewhere warm. Some sun will probably help them feel a lot better.
Ain't that the truth? You don't want to know how long it took me to get out of bed this morning. Fall is great, but I can't stand the cold. Anytime the weather starts getting chilly, all I want to do is curl up under the blankets and watch cooking videos on my glasses.
I like it when the weather gets cold enough for sweaters. I feel more comfortable with longer sleeves.
To each their own, I guess. Any updates on our AI patient?
I had some discussions with the AI's caretakers about the additional treatments that I mentioned last week. The next session will be all about suggesting them to the patient.
Good idea. I read over your session notes from last time and emailed you some suggestions on how you can improve your therapy sessions with the AI.
I appreciate that. Having some extra notes to work from will be really helpful.
Let me know if you need anything else.
I will. Thanks again, Heather.
Oh, okay, that's short. Oh, okay, she created some medication for the robot. Birthday party.
We're about to find out.
Yeah. Okay. Planner, patient. Same thing, nothing really changed. File report again? Didn't I do this already? I did. Alright.
Were we supposed to talk to Dr. Freeman or no?
No, the option is gone. You can only choose one of them.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why like Freeman is actually no, let me check again.
Still blue?
Yeah, no, they're both blue. But I think it's going to change next time. It doesn't always update automatically. I'm going to try the forgery detector again. It's kind of fun. Alright, cool. Here we go, session.
Hello, Dr. Park.
Hello, Willow. How have you been?
I'm better now than I was last week.
That's good. Anything on your mind that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the trust, and yeah, Freeman is still blue, the rest are green.
I've been wondering about what my purpose should be. If I can't figure out how to work in therapy, what should I do instead?
We can go over that today. Are you ready to begin?
I am. Let's get started.
This week is going to be the start of our new medication regimen. I want to take a moment to discuss how it's going to work. Tara compared your processing activity before and after you began having your overloading episodes, and isolated some select areas that may not be functioning properly. These are areas that are dealt with information gathering and applying empathy. They were being overstimulated and unable to handle the sheer amount of processing required. The module is designed to increase processing resources to better accommodate for these influxes whenever they happen. Now, we haven't tested this, so there's no telling if this might lead to other complications. But we can fine-tune the process as we learn how it works with you.
Thanks for the warning, but I'm determined to give this a try.
Okay, let's move on then.
Okay, so you have to choose 4 choices from here.
Which ones did you pick last time?
I think this session is about purpose, and I asked the machine about I asked Willow about music. I think I think not having a purpose, because Willow seems to really want to have a purpose. And
So let's start with the idea of purpose.
Okay.
What makes you happy, and then it's okay not to have a purpose. I think that.
Okay, so alternate ones. Alright.
Can you go into more detail about the concerns regarding your purpose?
I was created to fulfill a specific function, to look at the art of people who had undergone trauma in order to help treat them. Now I'm wondering if that should be my purpose, or if it is a purpose I'm capable of fulfilling.
Original purpose or true purpose?
Original purpose.
Right.
What makes you think you are incapable of fulfilling your original purpose?
Isn't it obvious? How can I find out what's wrong with my patients if I don't even know what's wrong with me?
Which one? Solving problems.
Yeah, let's not do that one.
Which one? So give it a try, or
You have to give it a try.
yes.
Yeah.
What do you lose by trying?
That one.
You owe it to yourself and your future patients to try and find a way to get better.
I'll have to think it over.
Okay. So what makes you happy?
There's a particular thought exercise I'd like to do with you to help you find your purpose. What makes you happy?
I like talking with you and Tara. While I find art interesting, I find the works themselves less interesting than being able to discuss them with others. I can't think of anything else that interests me or makes me happy as much as conversation.
Interesting. Thank you, Willow.
Why are you asking?
Hang on. Okay, so which one? Okay, which option?
To understand you better?
Okay.
In order to advise you, I need to know you. Now that I understand your condition better, I need to understand you so that I can help you move past your problems.
What do you think is the best way for me to move past my problems?
Don't like the first option.
Yeah. Yeah, just self-medicate. just medicate.
Just medicate, yeah.
Yeah. Resolve personal issues, interpersonal issues. Help you. I think the one that makes most.
I like that option. Because it will also help us with Dr. Freeman and getting some points from that aspect.
So which one? Resolving the issues or cognitive skills?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It seems to me like the interpersonal issues between you and Dr. Freeman have been the cause of your overloading behavior. Any progress I make with you won't last if this dysfunctional relationship continues.
It would definitely help. I hope you can help make it work.
Yeah, it's addressing the root issues instead of just,
Yeah, okay.
looking for options and solutions.
Exactly.
It's okay not to have a purpose. You don't need to stress yourself out too much just because you don't have life figured out.
That might be true for people, but I'm a machine. Machines need a purpose, or they're useless.
Well...
Whew.
You're more than a machine, you're in development?
You're still in development makes sense. Because it's, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, you are a machine, but you're a machine still in development. You're unfinished. It's common for people to develop a technology that they may not necessarily know the applications for. The technology's purpose is something that evolves over time rather than being fixed.
Do you think I should be trying to find that purpose?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said that went the wrong way. I wasn't expecting her to say that.
Yeah. No, no, like I said, under my breath I said like Skynet. It's like, oh, they might have applications we didn't think of or foresee. Yeah, like total annihilation.
That happened.
Oops. Let's try again. Okay, this is interesting. Self-improvement, self-reflection, exploration.
Reflection, I would say.
The key to finding your purpose is self-reflection. You need to be honest with yourself about what makes you happy and what you're passionate about.
Because we're talking about passion or purpose?
No, I said because purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, reflection makes sense.
Yep.
You can't find your purpose without first reflecting on what gives your life meaning. It's good to know what your purpose in life is, but the process by which you figure it out is even more important. The life skills and experiences you have to learn in order to better understand your purpose are the key to living a content life. Even if you never find out what your greater purpose is, you'll at least be able to look after yourself and stay healthy. I'd argue those things are more important than simply knowing what you're supposed to do.
I see the point you're making, but it still just seems wrong for me to not know what I'm supposed to do with the skills and knowledge I've been given. Even if I learn how to live happily, I don't think I'll ever be complete if I don't have some way to apply my knowledge towards making some type of impact. If I knew where to apply that knowledge, that might be a start.
Okay. Which one do you want to choose?
How about the last one?
Okay.
For options.
You can use that knowledge however you want.
Okay, let's do that.
It's your knowledge after all. It's up to you what changes you want to make in the world. Certain pursuits are more noble, but they come with sacrifice. If you are prepared to make those sacrifices, you'll only grow to resent the people you're helping. Understanding these consequences is important to making informed choices, and they're important to making decisions on how you decide to dedicate your time.
I still need some time to think about this, but I appreciate your advice. You've given me a lot to think about.
I need to understand how you are trying to determine your purpose first before I can help you.
Well, it seems like I have to have a purpose, or else my existence will be meaningless. Until I know what I'm capable of doing, I have to rethink what my purpose is. I think that will help resolve my overloading problems as well.
The fact that you're overloading has nothing to do with your purpose. Your fear about what might happen to you is what is making you overload. Switching to a new career path would only be treating the symptoms of your problem.
So how will we treat the cause of my problems?
Right.
I was just wondering if anyone was listening to this.
Oh, I think one person is. It says one person is actively listening. Live listeners. I can't really tell. I'm not sure how. It says I have one live listener. Alright, so we are on this. Alright. What are the options? Restore and discourage Freeman. Live independently. How can a machine live independently?
Well, you asked me. She's sentient now, and then you know.
But it doesn't seem to have legs. It's just like a. It just seems like it's still a machine. There's no other parts. Just the arms and no legs or anything.
It looks like it has the arms on the face the whole time.
Yeah, it does.
Like it's sad.
Yeah.
No, it looks like that, but it doesn't have any arms. How does it teach art if it doesn't have any arms? Oh, strange.
I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe that's something to ask the developers, like, how did you manage to be teaching art therapy if she's, yeah.
I think it just it analyzes art and then it does therapy talking. I think mostly it's a talking. It's like psychiatrist. It's a psychiatrist, right? So it just talks.
But it also has like some sort of monitor or something.
Yeah, the eyes can see. I guess has cameras and it has expressions. Like if you notice, the face changes. Yeah, the bottom part.
That's where the empathy is coming from.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
I think the last option. Let's try that.
Yeah, let's go for that. Yeah.
I'll teach you how to live as close to independently as can be managed. I truly believe that your overloading is linked to the fact that you are at the mercy of others. If we were able to find a way to let you live independently, the overloading should go away.
If I'm being honest, the idea of living independently is a bit scary to me.
Yes.
That anxiety again.
Yeah. So give it time. It's worth it. Like this is a new path.
Give it time.
Yeah. I didn't see this last time. So
promise
it's
me
new.
you'll at least give it some thought.
I'll think about it, but I don't know if I'll ever fully come around.
Thinking about it is all I ask.
Dr. Park, if you don't mind me asking, when did you realize what your purpose was?
I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean how did I feel, or how old was I?
Either one.
I think I chose how old was I yesterday. Yeah, how I felt.
There was definitely a defining moment when I realized what I was willing to be and what I wasn't. That moment built up inside of me over years and years, until I finally knew what I wanted from life. From there, it was simply a matter of becoming the person I wanted to be.
Interesting.
Why do you ask?
Okay, this is a voice message. Not sure who this is from.
Do you believe in Scientology? Why or why not?
No, that's off topic. Alright, let's continue.
Well, it just seems like you have things figured out. You're definitely the most stable of all the people I've ever met. I figured if I asked you how you found your purpose, I'd be able to have an idea on how to find my own.
Interesting. Alright. Ooh, okay. Help or not help?
Help.
Okay.
I'll try to help in whatever way I can, Willow.
What do you recommend I should do to figure out my purpose in life?
Ooh, all green now. I just checked the Trust
Oh,
bar. It's
fantastic.
all green. Yeah. Okay, so what do you recommend I should choose? Okay, continue. Alright. Options. Who you... Find out who you are without
Because yeah, comfort zone. Because we're like trying to find our purpose and also encourage independence. So yeah, getting out of your comfort zone sounds about right.
Okay.
You need to move out of your comfort zone and try things you're afraid to try. Do things that you didn't think were possible. You might learn things about yourself that you didn't expect. Those things might prove to be the key in figuring out your purpose. I know it sounds scary, but believe me, you'll be surprised what you learn about yourself.
All right. Out of curiosity, what did you learn about yourself, and how did you move out of your comfort zone?
Two tough questions.
Yeah. Yeah, why are you asking?
Okay.
Why does my past
Because
matter
she's
so much to you?
well, yeah.
Tara was the closest thing I had to a mentor, and they're gone.
Sorry, what are you saying?
No, I was just thinking that it's rare that therapists would actually be forthcoming with their own,
Yeah, that's true.
perspective or their own story.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get answers. Can you talk to me about this or not?
Ultimatums, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the first one.
Yeah.
These sessions are about you, Willow. I don't want you to get stuck thinking you have to do things the same way that I did.
So you won't help me?
Oh man.
Well,
Well, yesterday I chose to stay professional, so I'll change it today. I'll see what I can do.
yeah, I'll see what I. Yeah.
I'll see what I can do, but I'll have to think it over. It isn't something I'll be able to discuss with you today.
The questions I'm asking you about are things I wasn't programmed to deal with. You have standards, rules, professionalism, fine. But I have things I need to figure out, and I need your help. And that should be more important. Sorry for ranting. I just wanted you to understand what I'm feeling.
This goes back to how systems are, configured to think.
Mm-hmm.
Their standards, rules,
Yeah.
laws. Otherwise, everything else is consequential, irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's very interesting. That reaction was very telling.
Yeah, which makes you kind of how do I say this? Yeah, I mean, it really makes you think that the Willow is sentient. Yeah, else they wouldn't respond that way. It's all binary. It's like yes or no, on or off.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should we say? I'll try my best to help you. Yeah, I'll try the best.
Yeah. No,
You're
but
right.
I would go my
Helping you comes
professionalism is
first.
important as well.
I know. I chose that path yesterday. I was completely professional, and it just made it more and more depressed and not trust me more. Like it just made me. It made the robot. Made Willow not trust me because I was too professional. It was like I wasn't on her side.
I can't guarantee that everything I tell you will help you, but I'll still try my best.
Thank you, Dr. Park. It means a lot to hear you say that.
Before we end today's session, I want you to describe yourself. Tell me who you are.
That seems an odd question to ask at this point.
Humor me. Pretend like I'm a stranger and we're meeting for the first time. Tell me about yourself.
Okay. I'm an artificial intelligence. I was supposed to be a therapist, but I'm having trouble achieving that goal. I like art and talking with people. I have some problems, but I'm trying very hard to figure them out. I can't think of anything else to say. Why are you asking me this?
You can't figure out your purpose if you don't know who you are. From what you just told me, it's clear you still need work in that area.
I thought I just explained who I am.
Not quite. It's one thing to know what you are. It's another to know what it means.
What does it all mean, then? What questions should I be asking?
Interesting. Oh, message.
Yo, just like 2 weeks ago, man, I don't know what happened, but I just started losing my hearing in my right ear. And I'm like completely deaf in my right ear now. And I think about suicide a lot.
How do you respond to that?
I wouldn't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, we are not really psychiatrists or psychologists. I think you should talk to someone about it. Go see a doctor about your ear, and you need to talk to someone about the suicidal tendencies. Hope that helped.
I mean, it's not like I can hear you guys, but I don't mean to burden you with my problems. I'm really close, man. I'm really on the edge.
Yeah. Like I said, you need to reach out to your family, friends, someone to talk to, and they can help you better than we can.
Yeah, I don't think this is the right place to actually get help. Yeah.
Alright. Alright, let's continue with this. Your interests, your problems, status as AI.
My bad. Thank you guys so much.
Okay. AI.
When you describe yourself as artificial intelligence, what meaning does that have for you?
I haven't wondered much about it. I will say that the fact that I'm an AI comes with some drawbacks. I get treated differently for being an AI, so the fact that I am an AI certainly isn't entirely helpful.
Often in our lives, we get targeted for things we can't control. Our race, our gender, lots of things. You being an AI is no different in these respects. In moments like this, it helps to embrace what makes us different and find ways to love ourselves for who we are. Be proud of who you are, even if no one else is. I'd like for you to take time between now and our next session to think about the aspects of yourself that are unique to you, that you love about yourself.
Alright, I can do that.
This may seem like a lot to think about at first, but this exercise will be helpful for you. Once you have a better understanding of yourself, we can move forward in finding therapies that work for you.
Just so I understand, can you give me an example?
What type of example?
Well, what defines you, Dr. Park?
Interesting. Okay. Family, art, work.
I think work. She looks like a workaholic from what I've seen.
Yeah, I chose work yesterday.
Okay.
I'll go with family. I'll go with family.
Family, yeah.
I think of myself in terms of my family. A daughter, a sister, an aunt. The relationships I had with my parents and older siblings shaped the way I saw the world. My parents were honest, good people who valued their community. My father was a lawyer and my mother a professor. They uplifted thousands of lives through the years and were greatly respected. My two older brothers taught me a lot as well. I appreciated their patience and earnestness. Through them all, I learned the value of giving to those in need and standing up to help others. Being able to give this guidance to my patients and to my brother's children has been one of the greatest delights of my life. I can think of no other way I would present myself.
Okay, I see what you mean now.
Good to hear. Think about your identity and the time between now and the next session. Do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good.
ought to have something to talk about by next week.
In that case, I wish you a good day, and I look forward to talking with you next week. Be well.
There's a bit of a lag.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to get out of Twitch and restart it. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, actually, I'm going to wrap up also. I need to get going. I got a couple of things I need to finish up. But it's been really nice meeting up and talking to you and playing with you, I guess, this game.
Definitely, same here. Yeah, we should do this again.
Yeah, we will. How do I contact you in the future? Like, I mean, okay, on Twitch, I guess. I have you on Twitch now.
On Twitch, I'm trying to add you on
Instagram, Discord. Oh, you have Discord?
Yes, I do.
I have a server. Are you Oh, yeah, you saw the link, right?
Yeah, I just tried. I did see the link.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, just message me on Discord. Let me check and see if it's on Discord. I should have it. Oh, okay. Let me just double check. Okay, I see you. Yep. Alright, and I'm going to end the stream. Hang on. And then